Alright. Turn into Paladino. New game plus. Toss a stream marker so I can find it for the highlight. And resume. Last time, shit's going wrong. Ramu has been summoned and no one knows why. We want to try and make things... solve things diplomatically, but we all know that never fucking works with primals. Captain Ironhide, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal Ramu himself, an unbelievable task, but one for which I have no doubt you are well suited. I've been told that your fellow Scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak, that we might ascertain the location where the Lord of Leven might be found. I would ask that you abide here until they return with their findings. I was told that a messenger will be sent as soon as your fellow Scions finish their investigation. I do not imagine it will be much longer. This one returns, and returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching, and have wisely identified the precise location where the Touched Ones summoned Lord Ramu. Your timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. May you be so kind as to escort this good woman to her fellow Scions? It would be this one's pleasure, Walking One. Please, come with this one. Wise ones have ventured deep, deep within the Southlands. This one must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for Touched Ones. God, being able to just fucking glide through the Southlands is amazing. This place sucks. Fucking forest is just bad. This one is most sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw too close to Lord Ramu, and this one may turn into a nasty, turn mean and nasty like Touched Ones. And so this one must say farewell for now. Walking One will find Wise Ones not far from here, to the south. Go in safety, Walking One. I do like the music, but yeah, it's just bad. Bad place. So it's actually you. I'm relieved. For a moment I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking any measurements. Yes, it was quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on your Stola's face when one impersonating you suddenly showed up. That's quite enough, Papa Limo. My apologies, it's not like me to ramble so. At any rate, as I was saying, I finished measuring etheric activity in the area, and I'm pleased to say I've reached an indisputable conclusion. To wit, that Ramu was called forth in the vicinity of the Sylph's Aetherite. Come, Kinliana, the Lord of Leven awaits. Wow, they cut out a lot of quests there, because you used to have to do all of the quests that were like, oh, your friends have transformed, like, your friends are acting kind of weird. It turns out it's a dickhead Sylph. They cut out, like, fucking 6 interactions there. Good for them. Sylphs are just being a bunch of shitlords. It might just be a New Game Plus thing. It could still be in the original, but like, fucking god, they got rid of all that. Like, Thancred crying like a little bitch on the floor. I don't want to keep moving. You're like, that's not Thancred.
Thine order betrays thee, servant of hiding.
Thunder dead, Thunder dead.
Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda,
And King Mughal, don't forget him.
I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? The Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion. Thine offer, an insult.
No, you.
Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest naught for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask.
Well, yeah, because you're here and you're kind of a problem.
Turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Gridanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man.
So your beard's making me uncomfortable.
Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. Were light and dark given form when man was born? It would explain much. Not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking? Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges. That they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal. Shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment.
No pressure.
Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Urianger, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady.
That man puts his goggles over his goggles.
Beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramu, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Time for another epic auto attack, disrespect the primal to death. Let's go. Thunder dead. Thunder dead. Dude, just wait until they fuse you with a horse. You're not even prepared. Just think, the Warrior of Light's looking at that right now. And then later on Life in Eden, it's like, yeah, that guy. But imagine you had horse legs. Oh, fair enough. Have a nice day. Oh, this man's gonna... I might not be able to auto-attack disrespect this man to death, because otherwise he's gonna fucking put me asleep for 30... You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna do it anyway. He's gonna stun me for 30 seconds. But I will get hit by his other shit, actually, so it should be fine. Double check. Yeah, my HP's literally not even going down. Yeah, this. So this stuns you for 30 seconds, but then I'm pretty sure I'll immediately get... Yeah, I'll get hit by this, and it'll go away, so that'll work. That'll do. And if not, then this would have hit me. You know what, for shiggles. The side eye. To me, mine arbiters. Oh, get back in range of him. Okay, cool. Stun me. Okay. Oh shit, they took more than one hit each. Oh. Time of judgment is nigh! Back to RP auto-attacking. primal music is some of my favorite music in the game. As long as I can do fights with minimal effort and just get to sit here and fucking jam out, I'll do it. Just need to make sure I'm continuing my auto attacks. Cat's coming after you, Mom. Cat's coming in. He'd love some water. Dude, 32%. Ramu's fucking... He's a little beefier than the other boys. I think Levy took 4 minutes. If you got some ads, I'll kill the ads. You don't have to kill the next ads, but you know, I'm RPing, look. I love that we just heal faster than damage happens. 3 times Echo, 2 Strunk. What is this debuff? What did I get hit by? Oh, damage is taken each time an action is used. Hold on, does that go away if I grab... It does! Okay. And, oh, that's probably the tether, but there's no tether partner. That's funny. So, of course, I'm not using any actions, because, you know, lol. Hold on, what's my button for Holy Spirit? We'll finish him off with Flare. Oh, he didn't die. Alright, cool. That just got me a little bit closer. Dude, 4%. Let's go. Paid.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Ascians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Them sandals, though. Killing it, Ariange. Captain Ironhide, you've returned. Dare I ask how Ramu received your visit? He challenged you to a test of arms. It is well, then, that you have some experience in such matters. The peoples of both Gridania and Little Solus will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the forest champion of peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day, Captain Ironhide. The Elder Seedseer must be informed of your deeds at once. The Elder Seedseer will wish to hear of your experiences firsthand. Pray return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Stand. The conjurer at Nofka's altar will be expecting you. Fare you well, Captain Ironhide. Man, so much still has to happen before Heaven's Word. Like, I mean, I know there's still part 6, but fuck. It's like the whole Crystal Braves thing. Like, it's just, there's a lot. Welcome back, Honored Zion. We knew of your mission. We who knew of your mission have been most anxious to see you return. The Elder Seedseer waits you within.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramu ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell?
It was a good conflict, you know? Not the bad conflict. It was the good kind of conflict.
Ramu made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one, yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramu has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Thus ends another daunting mission, eh, Kinliana? I'd hoped Lord Ramu could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless I can only admire the adroitness with which you responded to the Primal's sudden challenge. It seems that Urianger too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Kinliana? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? Welcome back, Kiliana. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramu precedes you. I would fain share news of mine own, but Urianger's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Ascian's immortality. Let us reassemble and discuss his observations together.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Urianger, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'ashtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'ashtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior.
Lesson time!
Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits, should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth the distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
Yeah, Thancred, we're just gonna forget about the time that you got possessed by La Habrea and cast Ultima inside of Castrum fucking Meridianum.
To flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Arkham.
Meanwhile, the sages of Sharlayan are fucking chilling at a cafe eating a burger.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, their findings...
Oops. I
I shall,
fucking
Archon.
somehow skipped
Thank
that
you.
dialogue. Charlene survey team seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer. Eating terrible Archon loaf. True. Archon loaf, and then that one cafe. the last bastion, or the last hope, or whatever it is. Last stand? I don't know. The last stand of good food. Lord of Levin is returned to the ether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramuh's acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Crag, Whirl, and Levin all have now been humbled by the bringer of light. The limitless potential of man, Heidel's servant grows mightier by the day. Yet she prospers at great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times has the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls have grown weak and wan. Yet even as it enervates, the ardor empowers our master, and all that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted to forge the final key. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort. Divine seeds were ever wont to quicken in Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead man to the field, and by their eager hands shall a new deity arise. To which that which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. Aw, dude, we gonna meet Hoary Boulder? Now the matter of Ramu has, for the present, been put to rest, there is something I would show you, Kinliana. It is a letter of thanks, signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals, Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Mugomog XII, Leviathan, and now Ramu. Needless to say, there is one among our number who have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. I, too, must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You are a true hero, Kinliana, and Eorze is much safer for your presence. My gay little heart. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals, too, will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there's no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people you have won over to the cause in so doing. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of the allies to whom we are now blessed. Of the beastmen who wish not of conflict, and who now call you friend. Of Alize, who strives to unearth the terrible secrets of the calamity. And then there is Sid in the Fellowship of Noah, racing to unlock the mysteries of ancient Alag that we might be spared the horror of another Ultima weapon. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming, Antecedent. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Alfino, I take it the troubles in Ul'dah no longer require your attention? There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. Ah, I have a message for you from Ellie. You recall the refugee girl? The one whose parents were missing. They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Why, Alfino, am I to understand that you made effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. Kinliana, you have been away from Revenant's Toll for some time now, I believe. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for a moment and take the opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which, I remind you, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozen was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? Time to go beat up Hoary Boulder in front of children. Oh, is he in the Razak Stones? Did I schoof? I did. Sorry, Yozen, I was busy jumping. Look, it's Miss Kinliana. She's back from her adventures. We heard you were off fighting primals, and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish we could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Miss Kinliana? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion, then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. Coltonet, did you know that Miss Kinliana is back? So it would seem. Welcome home, Kinliana. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Coltonet. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the arts of combat. I told you, Mr. Boulder, we're not younglings anymore, we are adventurers. And we were just asking Miss Kinliana if she could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside her, don't you? Well, you've certainly been diligent in your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are still so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter-proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Kinliana? A demonstration of skill at arms, if you will. Hoary, if I didn't know any better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Ha ha ha, well, mayhaps I am. What matters the motive for when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What say you, Kinliana? Would you consent to spar with me? Dude, I'll beat your ass. Hurrah! We're to have a tournament! Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for an outing. Do not try to disappoint them, Have faith, Coltonet. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Oh, that's not the button I wanted. It was good of you to agree to this, Kinliana. I trust you're ready to begin. I'm ready to beat the shit out of you. Let's go. Very well, let's not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Hoary, are you certain you wish to fight her alone? This is Kinliana you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas this hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Kinliana to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Yida, what? Who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there are still a few more to come. When I mentioned Kinliana's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. With my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You'd best claim victory, Bringer of Light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. We shall soon see. On your guard. Ugh, such power. The tears barely do you justice. Mr. Boulder won't lose, will he? Not over yet. It can't be. Aye, the children have the right of it. It's time I join the fray. On your feet, Hoary. Must admit defeat. It was an honor and a privilege. Just killed a man. Oh no, he looks hurt. Kenyan is so strong, but you can't give up, Mr. Boulder. Can't disappoint the younglings. Ah! Never have I faced such strength, but the lesson must continue. It is your example I follow. Surrender not to the implacable foe. You have bested me. I yield. That was incredible! She beat them both at the same time! We knew you couldn't lose, Kinliana. None could defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I have much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Impressive as always, Kinliana. It is ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles and the many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yes, that is a most fitting title. You recall when we first met? It was at the memorial service for the Battle of Cartano. Not true. We were on the same cart together, Alphino. You just didn't want to talk to me. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand the lands of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why Grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abound, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I somehow managed to skip that. I don't know what it pressed. I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for the desire to continue Grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. 'Twas you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. 'Twas you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor their history, nor any single nation. It was the people, these wonderful, often infuriating, stubborn people, that suffer blow after terrible blow only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe Grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants into charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I, too, will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat, and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. You would aid me in building such an organization? Then pray, let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. Alphino, this sounds like a great idea, but since I am actually a god from the future, I know, terrible idea. Do not entry, turn back. Thank you for coming, Kinliana. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would speak first of the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you will. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet, while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards unification draining away. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on such a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation accorded to the Scions. 'Tis my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But, as you yourself have witnessed from the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scion's command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization are those of the Scions, are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true border-spanning Grand Company, it is yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask you to accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with the bureaucratic formalities. Don't nod at him. Don't tell him you'll do this. Thank you. 'Tis reassuring indeed to know that the Bringer of Light and her discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Lominsa. Let us rendezvous at Del Bulwark Hall. Ah, there you are. I'm ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Bufisvin. While the Admiral and I are finalizing promissory boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for the potential members, 'tis of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it, and you needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you are satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter, and we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. I think I'm going to stream until about midnight, and then I will call it an evening. I'd stream later, because I'm not, really a weekend, but I am going to my aunt's tomorrow for lunch, since we couldn't do that today, so we get some amount of sleep. An organization with the freedom to operate with territorial impunity, I must say your proposal intrigues me. But the Krakens well know that there's a time to act and a time to watch, and I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. Master Alfino's new organization? Yes, I heard the formation of his trial company was in the offing. It is with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Lominsa must needs receive my full attention. Who the bloody hells do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sun, knight and shine plate. If you're looking for self-righteous fop, try knocking on the dandy Caravalian's door. I'll be decent on my belts. Saw the Calamity Salvager. Oh, precious belts. Precursor to a United Eorzean Grand Company. While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here at Naldic and Vermelis keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be traipsing hither and yon across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. Oh, that's not a door. That's not a way outside. I understand why this part couldn't be cut out. But God, I wish this part was cut out. I do this every fucking city. Hey buddy. Well, if it ain't Kinliana, I'd not forget a venturer brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcut to Titan's bedchamber. Remember old Riol, don't you? Formerly of the Company of Heroes? 3 whistles at Bronze Lake? Aye, it ain't often I drag me arse out still into Limsa for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. How fare you these days? You're looking to put together a new crew. Top-tier work? Sounds like a right lark, it does. Alrighty, lass, count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into me grave just yet. Wrong way. Wrong way, wrong way. Swap. Kinliana, your recruiting went well, I trust. I'm curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa. Ah, a member of the legendary Company of Heroes indicated his interest? Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was a right choice. Few could boast the acquaintances of such an elusive character. I, too, was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Seedseer proceeds as smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Nafika's altar. My audience with the Elder Seedseer is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you could once more seek the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates has run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Could it be you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron at Buscarin's. Well, of course you do. I was beginning to wonder if jail had changed me more than I realized. Not that I have any particular wish to be recognized after my shameful conduct. The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? Recruiting, eh? What is your policy on reformed convict? You're not welcome. Get the fuck out. I hate you. What good it is for us to see you, smiley face :D. As matter stands, the Wood Whalers will have not more to do with me. This may be just the second chance I was looking for. Revenant's toll, you say. I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this, I promise you. I am a changed man. No, you're not. Fuck you. I hate you. Don't let that man... We're as much at fault as Alfino is for how everything goes. We're the ones who let the dickheads join. Alfino fucking blames himself left and right. Joke's on him. I'm the one who let the dickheads join. Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest, or your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry. We were just... Oh, Kinliana, isn't it? It's been some time since our paths crossed outside of Copperbell Mines. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you've come. Mother Mion told me 'twas you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order. Well, your cause is undoubtedly just. My old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I've spent my entire life adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Isildar safely home. Wait, there's a random Hrothgar thinking about life? Oh. he's just, That's why, this is the reason that, people can't play the hit MMO Final Fantasy XIV. Because some people are living their best life, having a think. You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions. I'm both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young mistress, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. AKA, I'm an NPC whose butt is glued to this chair, and unfortunately they didn't code me to be able to leave it. That's a good one. It is not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited, and this company of yours certainly sounds to have promise, but its duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. Fair enough, ma'am. Fair enough. What news, Kinliana? For my part, the elder Seatsier was most amenable to our requirements. A former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer, our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Did I mention the former wood whaler is a fucking criminal who needs to die? No? Okay. Shall we strike into Ul'dah whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Ul'dah, the gilded city where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Kinliana. Alright, can't remember. Where are we going? Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire. Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next stall over, let alone the conundrums of a neighboring nation. Aye, you'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know of this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the street say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. You think you're recruiting for a just cause? Then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. I'm sorry, you wish to recruit me? That's some new-fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you are wasting your time. This lady has already spoken for. Good day to you, miss. Oh, what a happy coincidence. Do you remember me, perchance? I'm Orson, of the Church of St. Landama. Thank you again for your timely rescue. And I must also thank you for preventing the fraudulent priest from preying on Drybone's less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion Thancred, wasn't it? Ah, 'tis new companions you seek. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. Exactly, Glit. Yeah, sir, I can tell you, I may not know the end, but we are definitely not there. Which one are you doing? Ah, the range. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Don't join. Say no. Do not pass go. Wait, you're the lady who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't? I'd probably be dead, and a whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Any road, that disaster really got me thinking about our homeland and the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated and vowed to make myself a more worldly man. So here I am. A new company of champions. And you say it will take me to all corners of the realm? That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I prepared myself to fight the evil I now know is out there. Say no, buddy. Say no! You didn't say no. No. We don't want to. We want the gun to go off on the Gridanian one. The gun doesn't have to go off for that boy. That boy is already marked. Poor Wilrid. Yeah, no, that's the one that fucking the Gridanian man gets killed / kills. I'm pretty sure he just kills him. Like that's the boy who's gonna die. How fared you, Kinliana? What hidden gems did the streets of Ul'dah offer up to your unrelenting gaze? No, that's not Sloppy Guy. Sloppy Guy gets brought in by Raubon or someone. I don't know. He's not here yet. A single Alamigan youth. Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Kinliana. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundations of a new beginning. And yes, you are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana has graced my trial company with her blessing. Our first wave of recruitment is over, and documents signed, and the finances secure. About that, something syndicate? No, not a problem? Okay. There's not to prevent me from taking the next step. Oh, here we go. I actually did say that. You were concerned by the syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And, for the rumors of doubt surrounding the enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until this company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn the people's trust, one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for a united Eorzea. What the fuck is Sloppy Guy's name? Ilberd. Ilberd. If Glit happens to walk by Ilberd, absolutely just oops the safety's off.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
It's going to get you fucking killed, and I'm going to lose my arm.
His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience. Since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping.
Bitch, you think I'm gonna change? I'm hard-coded like this.
Cannot be done about Telechi.
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'dah law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Poor sweet summer child.
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
Don't worry, Teleji Adeleji's gonna get cut in half. Yeah. Yeah. That was like one of the parts that I liked about it. That is not a journey I soon wish to repeat. But I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, Kinliana. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free for other duties. What was that squeak? Did you stretch yourself and hit your squeaker? My kitty cat hit his own squeaker. Greetings, Kinliana. Alfino tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alfino to see that all is in readiness. I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces arrived in Revenant's Toll of late, and I wonder if Slaftborn might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak with him and see if there's aught he requires? What can I do for you, Kinliana? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with the new arm of the Scions. Ha! I barely noticed your recruits arrive. Just barely a trickle compared to the flood of the treasure hunters we have to pass through here every day. Well, I appreciate your offer for aid. It is more your burdens that concern me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Slaftborn! The shipment! We couldn't... Godswoman, what befell? We were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mordona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics. There were too many. Too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There is naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest, and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Whence did those supplies originate? House Fortin. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are apprised of this development. Kinliana, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Fortin? I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I also would have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for your understanding. I'm certain Lord Horchefant will be glad of your assistance. And I would be glad to assist him. I forgot I was in first person. Oh my. Horchefant, I was gonna go to bed, but now I'm hanging out with Horchefant. So just kidding. No bed. Well, well, if it isn't my fine friend Kiliana Ironhide, would you care for a plate of roast crackle? Some mulled wine? No? Ah, I see you've not come into my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was, in fact, on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence.
The incident with the New Frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurth's soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Fortom does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth.
It's Yzael.
What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve.
She's a nice lady. That's a lady I'd kiss.
so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait? Halone's blessings be upon you! Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise.
Gosetsu is a champion.
But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long.
Horchefant,
Should you learn
I'd give you a friend kiss.
pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
You're an acceptable human of the opposite gender, and I appreciate you. Ugh, that fucking World Fate. I'm mad I don't have the achievement for it. I love that rating system. Excellent. Yeah, Kim would be like, Harshafont, I present to you here my good friend Glit, who will show how much I appreciate you through his actions. And Liana, welcome, welcome. You'll be pleased to know the repairs to Stone Visual proceed apace. We shall rebuild and sure and strong that the Dravanians might batter themselves senseless against our shield in the west. I would venture, however, that matters of masonry are not what brought you to Whitebrim. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say, by the Fury. But you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds hereabout have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly without warning, and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this ice heart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. 'Tis an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhap you would care to question one of the recent victims? As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after a trader was waylaid on the road. The patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow and carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some detail that could aid you in your task. I have not heard of that. I'll have to I'll have to Google that. Tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course. I'm quite recovered enough for that. Anything to catch those cowardly Blackhearts. I was traveling my usual route to White Room Front when suddenly a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals, they were taking everything. 'Twas then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods, but you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived it all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. I forgot Snowcloak was a story dungeon. Gross. Right, it's the other one that's the optional. The 61 dungeon. What's it called? I don't remember, but the other ice place. The ice fortress. Dusk Vigil, that one. Yeah, Dusk Vigil is optional. Snowcloak is not. Ah, draw your weapons, foul. Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You are come seeking heretics? Then we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they are gone, vanished like icy wraiths. Yeah. That part made me giggle, Glit. Hello, nice lady. I would like to kiss you on the mouth. Hmm? You glimpsed a woman atop the cliff. Could it be Iceheart herself come to sneer at our folly? And where did she disappear? The heretics must be discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. 'Twould be best we were to return to Whiteburn Frump and lay our suspicions before Lord Dromont. How toasty's your PC? Dem cities be hot. Kinliana, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snowcloak were some of my finest. But they should be bested so handily, I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat the heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. It would be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may very well be the lair of our enemy. Pray return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Haurchefant of your discoveries. He will wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. Man, I was hoping to get to Heavensward this weekend, but I'm realizing that even if I play tomorrow night, assuming I get past the queues tomorrow night after lunch, I think there's... Well, no, we're kind of schmoovin'. I think this part 5 is probably just like an exceptionally long part.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart? Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action.
That smile for your boyfriend is cute.
Though Iceheart's true
You can act like you don't know who he is.
You have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
The alert seems to be taking a nap. But Grand, thank you for the host. It'll probably catch up, maybe, but if it doesn't, hey, thanks. I appreciate you. Welcome, I hope your stream was good. And, you know, we're doing a little bit more New Game Plus. I'm not going to be going too much longer, but we ended up going to visit Haurchefant, the best boy on the planet. Just a casual 11-hour stream. Dude, that was me yesterday. I went for, what, like 13 or 12 or something? Like, just, you know, it do be like that some days. Gilliana, it is good to see you return to the toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Corthus? As for Tons to send a second shipment, I must send thanks to Lord Haurchefant for his continued generosity. Yet, even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract ever greater numbers to those who would do us harm in the name of greed and power. All of us, Halfinode's new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. While you were away in Corthus, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed.
The more the merrier.
Yo, thank you for the follow. We like to have fun here. Did some ukulele into Smash. Was thinking about doing Mario Party. Ah, very nice, very nice. While you were away in Corthus, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed. Although Tatru does yet seem somewhat flustered, I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? Yeah, we like to have fun here. I'm an idiot who streams about once every 700 years because this game took over my life, so I decided to just start streaming this game, New Game Plus, because, you know, if I'm going to play the game, I might as well play it for the people, make some footage, have a good time. Welcome, welcome. These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Ooh, I'm sorely tempted to file the lot into my wastepaper basket. Ah, Kinliati startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid! Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't had time to track them all down. The recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. You'll want to report directly back to Elfino if you don't want to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. Tataru, you're going to become a weaving overlord, but don't give us matching uniforms, please. Oh, fuck this potato. Not that way, though. This is another one. Glit can walk by and just fucking shoot him in the face. Those who believe this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools. The giving of oneself is an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. Here, have a uniform. These uniforms are a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there should be a wealth of plenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. Yep, I hope you die. Ah, look, the other one I hope dies. I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I admit I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. Ah, our new uniforms. I'm reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. Isildur has at last retired. Hey, Yaglet. Yeah. Isildur has at last retired from the adventurer's life. Though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit, I'm excited to forge my own path forwards. Ah yes, the uniform! Thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. Yeah, Isildur, the King of Man. The ancient elf. Hello there, lass. Looking for me, was ye? I suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure I'd hear it amongst all the bustle. Woohoo! Proper uniforms and all. This thing will cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry, though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. Little Alamico could learn much from Revenant's Toll, but this town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. Never worn aught quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Kinliana Ironhide? Gods, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. It is an honor to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. The scarlet garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom and a hardy defender of Limsa Lominsa. Yet in truth, I stand for the betterment of the realm and thought this new company a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Oh, now that's a striking shade of blue. Put alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for color. Here's the man. Locked and loaded. I don't believe we've met. I'm Ilberd, and I have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. Uniforms are a shrewd decision. There's no easier method of creating a common bond among what is essentially a band of strangers. Sloppy! El amigo! Ah, yes, Kinliana? Ah, Tachiru mentioned you were handing out the new uniforms. I assumed you've now met the rest of the recruits? Some few answered the call to arms I put forth through the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is a much smaller corps of elite warrior we can achieve. Did I mention I had thought to name the name of the company? 'Tis my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near, Kinliana. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea.
No! Don't drop them here!
Hey, thank you for the bit. And welcome, welcome.
From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus, does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
Alphino, just give it a few more years. You'll be looting so many people into battle. You will be in so many battles. You will get guns.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening.
Basically, Grant. Alphino becomes the poster child for the new Sage job, which is a healing class that uses guns to heal people. They're like laser
Our
guns.
worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive?
Oh, Kryle's alive.
I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better...
Oh yeah, we rescued her a long time ago. We rescued her before the end of A Realm Reborn. She got kidnapped, we busted her out, we blew up some castrums, we saved the day. Now we're in the post-ARR story.
Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's
Dude, we've moved. We're in a whole new city.
is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, Have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Guardian?
No, she's tired. She's taking a nap.
Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin's silence portends naught but ill, I fear.
She's just taking a nap. It's fine.
Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Look, Heidelin has had. She's been busy. We've been draining a lot of her energy. She's just taking a nap. Best boy, Portia Font is best boy. Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that this shipment is spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommonly fierce this day. Hey, gonna be highlighting it. You can catch up on the hot, high-octane action that I know everyone cares so deeply on. It's the Pope! This character, obviously unimportant. We'll never see him again. The Pope is hanging out with Asians. And we've completed part 5! And thus, Minfilia has been Thanos snapped and this random child's here because this is present day. Ugh, God, I should fucking go to bed, but I don't. I want to keep going. I want to keep going. I don't want to stop. I should sleep. It's 12:30 in the morning. I have a problem.